another video for you with new stories from Ethiopia, Eritrea and Somalia. Firstly, Ethiopian Army Chief Birhanu Jula is in Turkey. We saw his pictures today. He was seen with a Turkish general there. What is he doing there? Is he there in connection with some new weapon purchases? Because we know that Ethiopia bought drones from Turkey last year. It is said that Turkish TB2 drones played a key role in changing the battlefield balance in favor of Ethiopian government forces last year when Tigray forces were threatening to reach Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. Second news story is from Somalia, where curfew has been imposed. 19-hour long curfew has been imposed in Mogadishu, Somalia's capital. Third news story is from Oromia about a 5-year-old girl who is in custody. Security forces have arrested this 5-year-old girl. Fourthly, Tigray, viewers, the farming season is starting in Tigray, and a UN agency is making calls. It is asking for funds. The agency says that Tigray needs fertilizers, seeds as well. As farming season is starting, there must be continuous delivery of fertilizers and seeds to Tigray. This agency is requesting donations. Fifthly, viewers, UN Special Rapporteur on Eritrea has spoken about conscriptions in Eritrea. Abdul Salam Babikar has shared some claims about ongoing conscriptions in Eritrea, which he says have intensified after the start of Tigray conflict in November 2020. He has shared the names of some places as well where conscriptions are on the rise in Eritrea. Firstly, viewers, Birhanu Jula, Ethiopian Army Chief, has arrived in Turkey. Today he was seen with a Turkish general whose name is Yasser Güler. You can see Birhanu Jula's picture with Yasser Güler. What is he doing there? Is his visit linked to any new arms purchases? Because we know that last year reportedly Turkish drones played a key role in reversing TDF's battlefield gains in the Amhara region, and Tigray forces had to retreat after suffering losses due to these drones last year in November, December. What is Birhanu Jula doing in Turkey these days? Turkey is hosting military maneuvers by the name of EFES 2022, and 37 countries are participating in these exercises. Around 10,000 personnel, military personnel will be part of these maneuvers. Aircrafts, frigates, artillery pieces, tanks, and other heavy weapons will be used, will be part of these maneuvers. And these are the largest military maneuvers in the area. Countries like Azerbaijan, Libya, Italy, US as well, France, Ethiopia, and several other. They have been invited by Turkish government to attend these maneuvers and to send their forces. So Birhanu Jula is there with some Ethiopian contingents reportedly. His visit is linked to the maneuvers EFES 2022. But it just shows that Turkey-Ethiopia relations are very friendly. Turkey invited Pakistan as well. Only friendly countries have been invited by Turkey to participate in this military exercise. Turkey has, huge investments in Ethiopia. Turkish companies, around 200 Turkish companies are operating in Ethiopia, and this number was less than 10 a few years ago. But in the past few years, Turkish investments in Ethiopia have increased, and Turkish Ethiopia defense relations are also strengthening. A second news story is from Somalia, where curfew has been imposed. 19-hour long curfew has been imposed in Mogadishu, Somalia's capital. The curfew started at 10 p.m. local time on Wednesday. The curfew will remain in place till 5 p.m. on Thursday. 19-hour long curfew has been imposed in connection with inauguration ceremony of newly elected President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud. Foreign diplomats, delegations, dignitaries, guests are arriving in Mogadishu. Vice President of South Sudan has arrived in Mogadishu. From Ethiopia, ONLF leader Abdirahman Mahdi has arrived with a delegation there, and delegations, advanced teams from Djibouti, Kenya have arrived there. So we could see Ismail Omar and Uhuru Kenyatta and PM Abiy as well arrive in Mogadishu in coming hours. That is why this curfew has been imposed. Hussein Roble, in a message, requested Mogadishu residents to cooperate with security forces as all movement of vehicles and people has been banned in Mogadishu. We'll update you in coming hours about the persons, the leaders who will attend Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud's inauguration. Third news story is from Oromia region, where more than a month ago an operation was launched against Oromo Liberation Army, and today National Security Council of Ethiopia claimed that thousands of OLA fighters had been killed, captured and surrendered, and OLA had been considerably weakened. The story is from Guji zone of Oromia, southern part of Oromia, Guji zone, Goro Dola district. Here a 5-year-old girl is missing. Locals say that she was detained by security forces. Her name is Bifto Jamal. It is being said that security forces want to arrest her father, who is allegedly an OLA member. Bifto Jamal's father was not home, that is why she was arrested. A 5-year-old kid is in custody in Gorodola. We saw a similar case in Amhara region as well a few days ago, when a kid was detained by security officials because his father was a Fano member. And after massive outcry, social media campaign, the kid was released. Now we're seeing the same in Oromia. That is how Ethiopian security forces commit excesses when they start operations against armed groups. Fourthly, viewers, a UN organization is calling for donations for funds. It says that farming season is starting in Tigray. June and July are farming months, and Tigray needs fertilizer and seeds. And this agency called FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization of the UN, says that 96 million US dollars are required to provide Tigray with fertilizer. Tigray needs 60,000 metric tons of fertilizer. Ethiopian government is selling fertilizer to FAO for delivery to Tigray. 1,300 US dollars per metric ton, I think, is the price which Ethiopian government is charging to FAO. But FAO is facing shortage of funds. It does not have money to buy fertilizers for Tigray. That is why it is requesting donations. 96 million US dollars are needed. It's a very crucial time for Tigray, because Tigray cannot remain dependent on aid supplies forever. Tigray will have to be self-sufficient, and for that Tigray needs seeds, fertilizers. Aid supplies should consist of not only food aid but also fertilizers and seeds, but FAO is facing shortage of funds. So coming weeks are very crucial for Tigray. If Tigray does not receive enough fertilizer and seeds, we could see a famine, we could see crisis for several coming months. Let's see, will humanitarian partners, will countries, will organizations listen to the request of this body FAO. Last reviewers, UN Special Rapporteur on Eritrea is making revelations about what's happening in Eritrea. His name is Abdul Salam Babikar. He has submitted a report to UN Human Rights Council about human rights situation in Eritrea. Abdul Salam Babikar report states that conscription has intensified in Eritrea. He says that after the start of Tigray conflict, Eritrean Defense Force intensified conscription, and youth are being targeted in several towns and cities of Eritrea. He has shared names of some places in his report. Firstly, Asmara, Eritrean capital, Dagra, Digsa, Akror, Hebo, and several other places. Abdul Salam claims that security forces are conducting house searches without any warrants, and wherever they can find youth, they detain them for conscription. Eritrea denies all these allegations. Eritrea says that it has a system of military training mandatory for youth like other countries have. So it's just propaganda of UN and Western countries and the US. And this military service, national service, is mandatory for Eritrea's survival, because Eritrea is facing a much larger, in the past Eritrea faced a much larger hostile nation, Ethiopia. So only way of survival for Eritrea was to train all its nationals, its citizens, because Eritrea was not in a position to raise a big army. But these complaints should be resolved. We talked to Eritrean diaspora community as well, and they have also shared similar concerns that length of conscription, length of military service, length of national service is unlimited. It's up to the government when to end the conscription or the national service duration. So there are definitely some issues. And secondly, association of secondary school exam and military training. It is nowhere in the world. I have not heard of any country where students must pass military training to pass their secondary school exam. So there are definitely problems.